Hi Graham, thanks for joining me today to talk about domestic reverse charge. We've been talking about it a lot recently. We've been talking a lot about how it works, but what I want to ask you today is what happens if people get the paperwork wrong?
Thanks, Linda. It's easy to think that you simply no longer add VAT to an invoice. Sadly, that's not the real case. There's two main issues that I can see, and this is more from an operational point of view. But basically, one's for cash flow and the other's financial. The first thing is, if you get the VAT on your sales invoice wrong, then this will give your customer or your client a good excuse to not pay you. And we all know that bigger companies often use any excuse to say, computer says wrong, do not pay. And therefore you can add maybe a month, maybe 2 months to when you expect to get payment. The other thing is if you get it wrong, the VAT man, it will take a while for them to catch up because obviously HMRC are very busy anyway with everything that's been going on with coronavirus. But to be honest, what they'll do is if you get it wrong and you basically, just look at it from a supplier. If you claim with a supplier and you shouldn't have, then what will happen, they'll disallow that. And also, they can ask you to pay the VAT where you didn't charge it if you should have charged to, like, for instance, an end user.
Okay, so it could be expensive.
It could be expensive and it could cost you cash and time and a lot to sort out, especially if you've got a lot wrong.
Yeah, okay. So to avoid those problems, Graham, what do business owners need to do now?
It's quite simple in a way. It's just focus on your processes, on your business processes. And first thing is to make sure you write to every customer, client, put the ball into their court, and you basically find out if the reverse VAT charge applies.
Okay.
But also, I think more important is making sure your team know that actually what VAT reverse charge means, and when they can charge it and not charge it, put it onto the customer. But it's also what they claim from a purchase invoice, supplier invoice, subcontractor invoice point of view.
Yeah. And you mentioned cash flow earlier. Just give me an idea of why we need to focus on cash flow when we're talking about domestic reverse charge as well.
Well, I think the first thing is, I've already mentioned that your invoices could be delayed. Getting payment. Second thing is when you get your invoices, if you've done it correctly and not charged where you shouldn't have charged VAT, obviously you won't get the VAT element, which means often people delay that for one reason or another. Where it really becomes a problem is if you've got invoice discounting, because you'll lose 20% of the invoice, so 20% of 120%. You'll lose the funding element on that. So you may be thinking you're going to get X of pounds when actually you only get sort of just over 80% of what you're expecting via invoice discounting from the supplier.
Okay, so it's particularly important then that people who have got an invoice discounting facility to get their cash flow forecasts up to date.
Yes, it could mean that they're actually deferring in a way about, I don't know, say another 3, 4, 5% of their actual total revenue.
Yeah, okay.
Forever, basically.
So definitely a hole in the finances there.
It could be a big hole.
Yeah.
It really could.
So, Graham, thanks for spending time going through that with me today. Our team are on hand to help businesses prepare their cash flow forecasts and to provide that training that you talked about. I'm going to add a link to our blog and to book a business review in the comments to this video. Thanks, Graham.
Thank you, Linda.